Hey everybody, it's book review week. I, for one, don't particularly like book reviews, so instead of doing that, I'm going to do something very similar and just talk about some of my favorite themes in books. I have a tendency to kind of pull the theme that I want out of the book, which is why I like literature, because you can do anything with it and it's still correct as long as you back it up. But anyway, I digress. One of my favorite books for looking at these instances is actually Heart of Darkness, which is that book we read senior year that no one liked except for me. So the story is a framed narrative, and the telling of said story takes place on a boat of some sort, going up some river, I don't remember. And as the narrator, who remains unnamed, continues on with the story and gets further and further into, the journey up the Congo, people start falling asleep and the tide is going out, and people are just losing interest. And that I took to mean that when the truth was kind of uncovered, as this guy was going into all these gory details, people kind of don't want to face that. They choose to ignore it. They fall asleep, or they lose interest, they wander off and go play poker or bridge or something. And I've always found that interesting. So I think the story sets itself up to be about this. I don't see how more people don't agree with me. But anyway, continuing on. Another way I thought this was sort of portrayed is through the female characters. So all the girls in the story, they're kind of ditzy. They're foolish. They think that the journey up the Congo, it's so glorified and only for brave, adventurous men, and it's the wild tales of adventure. And it's really not. Milo gets a chance to tell Kurtz as intended that, as Kurtz was dying, he realized the horror, or at least he expressed recognition of the horror, and he doesn't. Instead, Marlowe lies and says that Kurtz said her name. So he chooses to keep her in the shadow, deciding that maybe it's not best knowing the truth. Maybe sometimes, the illusion is better than reality, when reality is like a terrible nightmare. So far, people like to cover it up. People don't like to face the fact that, their reality might be terrifying. My favorite sort of supporting argument for this is the relationship between Kurtz and Marlowe. They're totally, they're a little gay for each other. I will admit it. But throughout the first part of the novel, before Marlowe actually meets Kurtz, he glorifies him. He's some great businessman and he can't wait to meet him. And then he does, and he realizes, he's evil. He's basically evil incarnate. And finally, with the meeting of Kurtz, Marlowe realizes, the true corruption that's in Africa. And he realizes that it's not, a business venture, and it's not, a great adventure. It's hell. So originally Marlowe sets out wanting to know truth and to find, answers in his journey up the Congo. But once he does, he realizes that it's better to live in an illusion than to be faced with, the horror that is reality. I've always been just interested by how people react when what they expected isn't, what they actually get. And I have like 15 other books that I have instances of this in that I will talk to you for hours about if you want to ask me. But for now, I'm just going to stick with that because I'm running out of time. See ya.